Hey there, creepy peeps, and welcome to another new movie review. Today, of course, we are talking about The Meg. Before I get into anything though, I want to say thank you to my creepy patron peeps for your support of my channel. Thank you so much. If you want to find out the perks to being a creepy patron peep, you can follow that link in the description. Definitely gonna butcher the director's name. Bear with me, you guys know how it is. So directed by Jon Turteltaub, hopefully I said that right, and starring Jason Statham, Bingbing Li, and Rainn Wilson. The Meg follows a team working on a high-tech marine biology facility off the coast of China who accidentally unleash a 70-foot shark, a megalodon, during a rescue mission. All right, so The Meg, as you guys probably have heard, and if you follow me on social media, you definitely have heard, because I've talked about it quite a few times, that The Meg is based on a book of the same name by Steve Alten. I do plan on finishing the book. I didn't get it done in time for the movie though, unfortunately, like I was hoping I would. But I am really happy that this movie was finally made, because this book, and I'm sure the author, Steve Alten, went through hell trying to get this movie made. So initially, the rights were actually picked up by Disney back in 1996, but the project stalled in 1999 and the rights went back completely to Alten. And then a similar thing happened in 2005 when New Line Cinema acquired the rights, but they were a bit wishy-washy and nervous about the budget that it would take to make this movie, and hence let the project go back to Alten. And then finally, Warner Brothers picked up the rights back in 2015, but before the movie could even get to us in 2018, there were a few changes from what was initially planned. Eli Roth was actually meant to direct the film, but left the project due to creative differences. And now we are here in 2018 where we have The Meg. With that though, let's get into what I liked about The Meg. Yeah, I'm just gonna kick it off with the main thing. I went in expecting a certain type of movie. I expected it to be reminiscent of like a B horror movie, just goofy and fun and sharks eating people, and you know, it met my expectations. So I went in expecting a certain type of movie. I got that movie. I'm a satisfied customer. I really loved all the characters. I'm not sure on this. I'm just gonna speak on what I feel like was going on in the movie. I feel like the actors, especially Statham, and that is maybe just because he's the main character and I noticed him the most, but I felt like the actors were aware that the dialogue and the script was really over dramatic and silly and goofy. Just the way it came across on the screen, it felt like they were having fun making the movie, and they were totally playing up the over dramatic bits. Like, it didn't feel like, if you think about the movie seriously, it's probably not that great, especially the dialogue. Very over dramatic, ridiculous, but it didn't feel silly or bad in a way where it felt like the actors didn't know and they were playing it seriously, and you know, kind of like Troll 2, where the actors kind of genuinely thought they were doing well, but that's what makes the movie so fun to watch, because they're so genuine in how bad it is. This kind of felt like the opposite. Like, I feel like the actors were aware of, you know, kind of the tone of the movie, and they were playing it up and having a good time, and that translated to me sitting in the audience, so it made the movie more fun for me. I hope any of that, a shred of that, made sense. Yeah, I thought they were all great. Statham did a great job. I loved all of his over dramatic like lines and dramatic turns to the camera, and it was hilarious. And of course, as a huge fan of The Office, I loved Rainn Wilson. I loved his character. It was kind of like the same kind of humor that I'm used to from him and I love from him, but he did play a slightly different type of character than I've normally seen him in movies, and that's all I'm gonna say on it without giving anything away. I also loved how Wilson's character kind of played the audience. Like, he represented the audience in the movie. You know, those type of characters that it almost makes the movie a little bit meta sometimes, you know, a little bit self-reflective, because they're saying stuff that the audience is saying. So there's that line in the trailer
Did you guys ever watch Shark Week?
There's another moment which I thought was really funny, but I feel like I was the only person in the theater that laughed at it. I felt bad. It's just one theater, obviously, but I was kind of like, oh, nobody else found it funny. Statham does something really badass, and Rainn Wilson is like, hell yeah! Like, literally, that was his line. Like, and it was kind of like, that's what I was feeling, so I loved that. And Rainn Wilson does get some kind of self-reflective lines as well. Like, I think part of the line is in the trailer also.
He looks heroic, but he's kind of got a negative attitude.
You know, because Statham is playing like your typical, stereotypical, I should say, like action hero. Like, he's got, you know, shit happened in his past and he's jaded about it, but he's also badass and things like that. And so I like that Rainn Wilson's character is the one like pointing all of this out. Like, he really is playing the audience in the movie, and I love those types of characters. And of course we have to talk about the shark. I thought the shark looked really good. I mean, obviously a megalodon is going to be CGI. Definitely going to be CGI. And as somebody who's not generally a fan of shark movies, like honestly, you could take a tour of my horror shelf back here. The only movie I have on this shelf that has anything to do with sharks is Jaws. And that is it, the first one. That's it. And I've said it before many times on my channel, I'm not typically a fan of shark movies. If you're new to the channel or maybe haven't haven't heard just a brief explanation, what I generally don't like about shark movies is that I'm just, for whatever reason, I'm not sure why, I just can't suspend my disbelief for some of these movies, because I know in real life a shark would not, you know, go on a killing spree and eat humans. Like, we're not in their diet. They're not gonna do that. And then the other end of that is usually something uber ridiculous, like Sharknado, or it's like a radioactive shark or a zombie shark or something like that, where it's completely ridiculous and I'm kind of just like, I don't know, it just doesn't appeal to me. But this one I was okay with, because Megalodon is or was, I guess, depending on what you believe, a real shark, a prehistoric shark. You know, it's a dinosaur shark, pretty much. And I imagine, you know, if dinosaurs were walking around today, they would probably be eating us. That makes sense for whatever reason. I don't know why. So I'm able to kind of be like, yeah, a Meg would probably go on a killing spree. No, for whatever reason, I was just able to suspend my disbelief and have a good time. They always play on some very real fears that I have of the ocean, and I'm sure a lot of you guys too, like the open ocean, especially, you know, when you're out in the depths and there's that whole, you know, you kind of realize like how small you are and how much is beneath you. And obviously once you get out, it doesn't take too long usually to the point where you can't see the bottom and you don't know what's lurking underneath you, and that's a very real fear that I have. That freaks me out. I don't like it. And of course there's a lot of instances in this movie where you know, they don't see the shark and you can't see certain, you know, distance out past you and definitely not underneath you, and you just know that shark is gonna attack from underneath, and oh, freaks me the fuck out. That being said, we'll just move into the one thing that I didn't like about this movie. And the only thing I can say is there was just a lack of carnage. I was actually, without spoiling anything, well, without spoiling too much, there was a surprising lack of deaths in this movie. I was expecting a higher body count when it comes to like the main cast of characters. I was expecting more people to, you know, get eaten. And honestly, it probably just has to do with I'm normally not this person to be like, oh, it's because it's PG-13. This was one of the more tame PG-13 movies I've ever seen. I feel like I've seen PG-13 get away with a whole lot more. So now we have to answer the question, was the movie worth it? Well, yes, I think the movie was. If the movie seemed like something fun to watch before when you saw the trailers, you're probably gonna enjoy it. If you go in expecting something comparable to Jaws, you're gonna think this movie sucks. So just go in expecting to have fun. That's all I'm gonna say, you know, like if you take it seriously, it's not gonna be good. So that being said, I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5. I mean, I really only just wanted more carnage, but other than that, it met my expectations to a T. Like, I'm a satisfied customer. On IMDb, after its opening weekend, it has a 6.2 out of 10. On Rotten Tomatoes, it has a 49% critic score and a 62% audience score. And on Letterboxd, it has a 2.7 out of 5. So if you went to go see The Meg this weekend, let me know in the comment section down below what you thought about it. And let me know if you went to go see Slender Man instead, or if you saw both. I thought about seeing both, but I'm gonna review Slender Man next week, since they both came out at the same time. You know, I was forced to choose, and I was way more excited to see The Meg, so. I do hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new here, become a Creepy Peep today. I post videos Monday through Friday, and you can ring that notification bell down there to be notified every time one of those videos goes live. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, stay strange. Bye.